Good evening and welcome to Champions League Live for the round of 16 as we start our first leg action this week. And tonight we're at the Santiago Bernabeu in the capital of Spain as the reigning European champions Real Madrid take on their local big foes in Atletico Madrid here in the Champions League. Also tonight, Borussia Dortmund host Lille and PSV Eindhoven welcome Arsenal in their game in Eindhoven. We'll keep you up to date with those two other games, but earlier this evening, Aston Villa needed 2 late goals to see their way past Club Brugge in the first leg and take a 2-goal lead to the second leg at Villa Park next week. 2 late goals, Marco Asensio's penalty adding to an own goal from Michele. Making it 3-1 to Aston Villa in those late stages. Club Brugge a bit unfortunate late there, but Villa winning by 3-1, looking confident heading into the second leg. Also this week, tomorrow night, Feyenoord Inter Milan, Barcelona Benfica, Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen, and of course the hot topic of the night tomorrow night as PSG take on Liverpool, 2 of Europe's top leagues, and they're league leaders in those competitions. Facing off tomorrow night. But tonight, it's all about La Liga action. It's all about the Madrid Derby. It's all about Real Madrid against Atletico. It is, of course, Carlo Ancelotti, Diego Simeone, 2 managers well accustomed to this competition and 2 teams well accustomed to meeting each other in this competition. It's surely a tie that Real Madrid wouldn't have wanted so early in the competition after facing Manchester City to get to this stage, but it's an Atletico side that deserved it, finishing in the top 8 of the league phase. They will have the second leg at home. It's the Santiago Bernabeu that we are in action for tonight. Let's have a look at the 2 teams then for this one this evening, starting with the home side, which Thibaut Courtois starts in goal. Fede Valverde is the captain at right back for Real Madrid. Raul Asensio, Antonio Rudiger and Ferland Mendy make up the back 4. Aurelien Tchouameni and Eduardo Camavinga are in a midfield defensive 2, with Brahim Diaz in the 10, Rodrigo off the right, Vinicius Jr. off the left, and Kylian Mbappe leading the line. There is no Jude Bellingham here tonight as he was suspended for yellow card accumulation. On the bench for Real Madrid, Lunin, Gonzalez, Garcia, Alaba, Vasquez, Modric, Goulet and Endrick. Just 8 players on the Real Madrid bench. For Atletico Madrid, Jan Oblak starts in goal and captains this Atleti side. A back 4 of Llorente, Jimenez, Longley and Galan in defence. De Paul and Barrios are joined alongside Leno and Simeone in midfield, with Antoine Griezmann deputising alongside Julian Alvarez up front. On the bench for Atleti, Musso, Gomes, Molina, Witsel, Mandava, Lenormand, Gallagher, Lamar, Riquelme, Sorloth and Correa. As I said, 2 sides well accustomed to each other both in league and here in the Champions League, although it's been a number of years since they met in this competition, all the way back in 16-17 in the semi-finals. We're a bit earlier this season, but there's no doubting this matchup is going to be a blockbuster. Kick-off at the Bernabeu between Real Madrid and Atleti is next. A very good afternoon and evening to you across Europe as we get the Champions League round of 16 underway with our 3 late games this evening in this competition. This is where it gets to the business. This is where the best are taken and separated and certainly picked out of the bunch to go all the way in this competition. Real Madrid have been top of the tree the most times, 15 time winners of this competition, and they are the reigning champions. They had to battle their way past Manchester City and ended up making easy work of City in the knockout playoffs. But tonight, a very different task against a very well-known side in Atletico Madrid, who they will face. A minute's applause at being massively respected across the Santiago Bernabeu this evening. Just before kick-off. We are underway elsewhere in Eindhoven, where of course Arsenal, an Arsenal side that maybe this is their last hope of a trophy this season, this competition. Out of the FA Cup, not in the Carabao Cup, and are they out of the Premier League title race? It seems very like they are at this moment in time. Could this be their remaining opportunity for a trophy this season? And what a way Mikel Arteta would love to deliver that to his team. They're underway in Eindhoven. They're also underway in Dortmund as well, as Dortmund take on a Lille side who've been a big surprise this season, one of the surprises of the campaign. In Lille, the French side, away in Dortmund this evening. But here we're all but ready to go. It is Real versus Atleti at the Bernabeu. And the knockout playoffs was certainly a cracking matchup. But Real Madrid, kind of unexpectedly, were playing in. They did. And they had to come up against one of their fierce rivals in Man City. And they will come up against another one in Atleti here this evening. A Diego Simeone team that is well accustomed to battling their way through Champions League games, and certainly putting many teams to the sword over the years, and a number of reigning champions amongst them. Here's an early break down the right hand side for Brahim, just behind the run of Rodrigo, as Griezmann picks it up. And of course we expect an energetic start, we expect an energetic match-up this evening between these two, but we also expect that grittiness that we see in of course big Champions League games, but of course in derbies as well. And this Atleti side, I'm sure, as we've known under Diego Simeone, love to lean in on that more physical side of the game. As Courtois under early pressure there, forced into a poor clearance with Griezmann chesting down. Here is Gallen. Gives it back infield to Longley. Now Jimenez. Out wide to Llorente. And now De Paul went down and is going to get the free kick there. Rodrigo De Paul. And Brahim Diaz, the one committing that foul. And you see it again. Good turn by Rodrigo De Paul. Knew the challenge was coming and was caught there by Brahim Diaz. That'll be another thing that Atleti will focus in on more. Winning set pieces. Not quite slowing the game down as such, but trying to break up Real Madrid's momentum. That was a poor ball. Back the way there from Simeone. Gives Real Madrid an early throw-in down that left-hand side. Well, earlier this evening, as I said, Aston Villa beating Club Brugge by 3-1 in Belgium. That's a big advantage for Villa to take back to their home ground in 8 days' time. Of course, all of tonight's games, the second legs will be played in 8 days' time, so next Wednesday for the return legs of these games, and then every game tomorrow night. The return legs of those will be played this time next week, so Tuesday. So they alternate days between first and second legs of all the ties, and they're grouped together. So these will all be grouped with next the second legs all on the same night, kind of thing. And of course, no Jude Bellingham here tonight for Real Madrid, which of course, you know, it's obviously it will be a big loss for them, not only on the ball, but in terms of not only his quality going forward, but his physicality. You know, he is a player that can be regarded as, one of the best technical players in football at this minute in time. A fabulous foot on him. And this is Rodrigo, breaks into the box here. Rodrigo! With their first real attack of the game. And Real Madrid break the deadlock. The European champions are in front inside 4 minutes. Barely an attack. Barely a threat. But it's Real Madrid in the Champions League again. And with their first opportunity of the night, it's Rodrigo with a lovely finish. Nice little run, completely free, hugging the touchline on the right-hand side. He commits the man out wide and Gallant, and he just makes a nice little darting run in behind, really perfectly weighted. He gets across the inside of Gallant, breaks into the box, chops it onto his left, and as he finishes beautifully, no chance really for a Jan Black. That's a really nice left-footed effort into the far corner. That is a wonderful opening goal. What a start for Real Madrid. And that's definitely the perfect start to this round of 16 tie. And certainly the start that Carlo Ancelotti was hoping for. Real Madrid 1, Atleti 0. Fabulous goal. And that's the threat that Real Madrid have. We talk all the time about dominating games and having hats full of chances. But when you've got such great quality players up the front and you create one chance, that's where Real Madrid can kill you. And that's why they're so effective in this competition, is because when they need to be clinical, they are clinical, Real Madrid. And that's why they're so hard to beat, because you need to be 100% all of the time and fully concentrated 100% of the time, because if you're not, things like that will happen. And sheer quality. He's in behind again. Rodrigo's in the box again, goes down, and it's a goal kick. He's told no penalty by the referee. For a second there I wasn't sure, but that switch ball, Rodrigo again, it's the exact same movement, hugging the touchline. The ball is played, he makes the run on the outside of Gallant, and as he tries to get across him, this time Gallant gets a bit more physical, kind of hooks his left arm. I think it's a bit soft for a penalty, if I'm being honest, but it's the exact same movement that led to the goal. And fair enough, Gallant gets a lot more physical this time, and in the end actually comes away with a good bit of defending. But overall, that's a major threat in that wide area. And here's Vinicius Jr., who's another threat on the opposite flank, battling Llorente. And Marcus Llorente's going to win a free kick there with a foul by Vinny Jr. Atleti have been caught napping a little bit in these early moments. It's a little bit of a slow start, and that's what can really cost you against Real Madrid. They were literally a referee's decision away from possibly being 2-0 down inside 6 minutes. Atleti, and that's the fine margins of football. That decision of not giving a penalty, which I think was the correct decision, could really change the dynamics of this game. But, you think of it the other way, they've started really slow, and they could be 2-0 down. Or they at least could have, Real Madrid could have had a chance to be 2-0 up in these early stages if that penalty was given. So they're not at the races just yet, Atleti, and I think they need to ride this storm and make sure it doesn't get any worse in these early stages, because they can be cast adrift very early doors here if Real Madrid get the wind in their sails. All they've got to do is just kind of settle the game down a little better. Atleti, they're allowing Real Madrid a lot more of the possession up until the last minute or so, because here's Griezmann, nice little ball to Alvarez, lays it back to De Paul. Rodrigo De Paul. Barrios. It's better from Atleti. Nice switch ball by De Paul. Bouncing down for Gallant. Back infield it comes. Longley. Finding Lino. And Lino with a cross. And the header is headed behind for a corner. It was Alvarez that was the threat, and Antonio Rudiger got ahead of him. Put it behind for the corner. It was a lot calmer, a lot better from Atleti there. Just calm build-up play, not rushing the pass, not forcing the issue, just settling into the game and taking it at their own pace, and they've got the quality. As Griezmann goes shorts. Perez lays it off to De Paul. De Paul's cross around the back post. The header across. Headed away. And hooked away by Brahim Diaz, but kept alive by Julian Alvarez. But gives it away again now as he tried to nick it over the head of Brahim Diaz. And a lovely little turn. Still going. And he's eventually brought down. And is going to get the free kick there. That's fabulous from Brahim Diaz. Incredible. Barrios trying to battle for him. Absolutely gets spun like a bottle top. And in the end, Lino trying to get involved too. And Brahim ends up on the floor. That just gets Real Madrid settled back into possession again. Here's Fede Valverde. Mbappe dropping deeper, finds Valverde. Infield to Mbappe again. He's got Sia Red around him. Lost the ball there for a second. Valverde tried to win it back, but he's now left the gap here. Down this left side for Griezmann to try and exploit. He's trying to find the target of Alvarez. Just underhead it. And Rudiger did well in the air. Here is Mendy. All the way back to Aurelien Tchouameni. 10 minutes gone in this round of 16 first leg here at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid 1, Atleti 0. And there's that ball in behind to Rodrigo. Galan was better prepared for that one on that occasion. Lino back to Galan. Now Longley. Of course, these two sides contrasting results at the weekends. Atleti picking up a narrow 1-0 victory over Athletic Bilbao. Julian Alvarez scoring the winner in that one in La Liga. Real Madrid on the end of a 2-1 defeat away at Real Betis. Brahim Diaz gave them the early lead. But Isco and Johnny were the two scorers that sealed the deal and gave the 3 points to Real Betis. Just seems like, in terms of La Liga, Real Madrid have got that in their locker in a sense of that freak result away from home, with that just kind of a poor outcome when it comes to away from home in the league. And of course, we talk so often, no matter what sort of form Real Madrid are in domestically, when it comes to this competition, there is no team better than Real Madrid in the Champions League. They show up time and time again. And I think the Champions League win in 2022, in the 21-22 season, as they give the ball away here again, is Vinicius Jr. Good block in there. Trying to see who that was, made the block. I think it was Jimenez, Jose Maria Jimenez, at centre back. That was a bit worrying again from the wide area from Atleti there, where Vinny Jr. broke in behind. It was a good block by Jimenez. It was a narrow angle anyway. I think Jan Black would have got something to it, even if it had found its way past the Atleti defender. Here is Rodrigo, linking up 1-2 with Mbappe. And Rodrigo charging through the middle. Again, an overload of bodies in the central areas from Atleti, and they win the ball back again. Here's Barrios, finding Antoine Griezmann. Cross now to Rodrigo De Paul. De Paul spotted, knew that Vinny Jr. was lurking. Got the ball, spun back out wide to Llorente. And just before that Real Madrid chance broke my stride a little bit. I was saying about how incredible Real Madrid are in this competition. And I was saying about that the Champions League win in 21-22 when they beat Liverpool in the final. And, we bring it back to that point and we kind of point out that game. They were second best in that game in terms of their performance. And they were probably down late in all of those knockout games leading to the final. Coming back against Chelsea, coming back against Manchester City, of course, in a number of those knockout games. Coming back against PSG as well, I remember. So there's a number of occasions where they came back in games in that Champions League run, and they weren't at their best. But this competition does something different to Real Madrid than any other side in Europe, because they've got that magic. It feels like they've got that magic power of, no matter how bad they are, no matter on what form they are, no matter who's on the pitch, the badge alone, the kind of atmosphere, the club, the name, the history alone carries Real Madrid through in this competition. And it's that weighs so heavy on opponents rather than actually Real Madrid themselves. As Vinny Jr.'s cross there, far too close to Jan Oblak, who can comfortably gather. There's Vinny Jr. there. Nice breakaway, linking up one-on-one with Brahim Diaz, and as he broke in behind, it was the good block with a right boot by Jimenez in that earlier chance. Well, still 0-0 in those two other games, but I have to say I'm keeping an eye on that Arsenal game between PSV and Arsenal in Eindhoven, and I can just tell you PSV have just hit the crossbar in the last moment or so, quite close to trying to take the lead there. PSV, of course, who beat Liverpool, the only team to beat Liverpool in this competition this season, and have had an incredible home form in the Champions League this campaign. PSV so far up to this point, so they're certainly a force to be reckoned with, and Arsenal will just want to come away with anything positive out of that game tonight. A win would be quite a great result for them, but a draw wouldn't be out of the question. It certainly wouldn't be a bad result for Arsenal if they were to head back to the Emirates with a chance. And we'll update you from all those games right throughout the night. It's still 0-0 as well in Dortmund, between Borussia Dortmund and Lille. Back here at the Bernabeu, Simeone, De Paul, holding off the challenge well and finding the run in behind here for Julian Alvarez. Alvarez on the break, tries to get it across. Got past Asensio, but Valverde was lurking on the cover, and it was Lino, it was at the back post. And Fede Valverde with a really nice bit of defending. Spotted the runner, knew that he had the better run on him. And Fede Valverde just got rid, put it behind for the corner. As we have a goal in Eindhoven. We'll tell you about that in a moment as Atleti take this corner. First of the game on the right hand side. Right footed delivery into the box. Jimenez got a connection as it drops. Simeone. Yeah, it was well wide. Yeah, it was Rudiger that got the header on it the second time, and as it fell down, Simeone tried to take it first time, and the shot in the end dragged well wide. I can tell you, there has been a goal in Eindhoven, and as I said, if Arsenal come away with a draw, it would be an incredible result. Well, more fool me, because they're winning in Eindhoven. It's PSV 0, Arsenal 1, and it's Jurrien Timber with the opening goal. So shortly after PSV hit the crossbar with their first shot of the game, Arsenal take the lead in the Netherlands. The English side so far, with Villa winning earlier and Arsenal 1 up away at Eindhoven. The English side's looking confident so far in this competition. And Liverpool, of course, play tomorrow night away at PSG. We'll have that game live here on LFS for you. Commentary of that one at the Parc des Princes. Here is Valverde down the right hand side for Rodrigo for Madrid, looking to take on Galan. Cuts it back for Fede Valverde, who will go for the cross. Headed away there by Jimenez. All the way back from Asensio. to Thibaut Courtois. Well, we know, of course, with the way the bracket works, and of course the bracket's already been decided to the run to the final by, of course, the draw that was done a number of weeks ago for this stage, and we know the winner of this tie will face PSV or Arsenal. So we will have a keen eye on that other game to find out, well, the winner of that one will play the winner of this game tonight, but of course 2 legs, so we'll not find out until next Wednesday night what the matchups will be there. That's a nice break down the left hand side for Galan here. That's it back, but a bit of a blind pass. That's good work in the midfield there as Rodrigo went down on a challenge, but no foul, said the referee, as Atleti keep the ball. Simeone. All the way back now with Rodrigo de Paul. Space in that left channel. Galan's broke forward. It's Madrid trying to apply a squeeze to Atleti. It's comfortable at the back at the moment. Jimenez now finding Longley. Griezmann trying to chip one over the top, round the corner for Galan. Fede Valverde tussling, comfortable under pressure. The midfielder plays a lovely ball into Camavinga, although miscontrolled by Eduardo Camavinga. And now Alvarez, still alive, didn't take the shot in the end. Lino, now Galan, couldn't find Griezmann. Well stepped in by Camavinga to make up for his earlier mistake. And Rodrigo winning a throw in there for Real Madrid. Just supreme confidence from Real Madrid. When they do give away a mistake or commit a mistake or give away the ball, they just got that supreme confidence to just settle, know exactly what they need to be doing, and just to recover the ball in a well-timely manner. Brahim, Mbappe, Brahim back to Mendy, now infield to Camavinga, going for the switch ball to Rodrigo again. Galan was a bit more aggressive towards Rodrigo that time. Infield to Camavinga again. Mendy, ball played into Mbappe, linking up with Camavinga. This better from Madrid. Tchouameni, Valverde, wide to Valverde again there from Rodrigo. Just overhit from Fede Valverde, trying to find Camavinga. And a number of bodies here trying to get forward for Atleti. It's Rodrigo de Paul has the ball now. Alvarez trying to make a run. De Paul trying to sneak it round to Lino. And Griezmann gives it away on the rebound. And now Madrid want a counter. Here comes Mbappe down the left side. Chopping inside Llorente, finding Vinicius Jr. Trying to eye up a shot, and the shot low and hard, but comfortable in the end for Jan Oblak to make the save. Yeah, they committed bodies forward there, Atleti, and they could have paid the price at the other end, but in the end the shot ultimately comfortably recovered. We have another goal in Eindhoven to tell you about. And it's a second goal for Arsenal. They've doubled their lead. Ethan Nwaneri with the doubler. And Arsenal, at the moment, despite a pretty difficult start, they're making easy work of PSV at this moment in time. It is 2-0 after just 25 minutes. Barrios. Back to Jimenez. Now Llorente. Halfway through the first half here in the Bernabeu. Real Madrid 1, Atleti 0. Rodrigo's goal inside 4 minutes has the home side in front. That's a nice little ball by Barrios, and Alvarez on the turn, and the cross on the right side from Simeone was to really no one. The ball into the box, but there was just no one in red and white in there. See that goal again. What a ball by Fede Valverde. Absolutely cracker. Nice little run in behind from Rodrigo. Again, comes from right, literally on the touchline, on the sidelines, the right hand side, and just charges in field. It's a little diagonal run in behind the fullback of Galan, and then just cuts it onto his left side as he gets round the outside of him. And it's a lovely little finish into the top left corner. Really nice finish. Here's Brahim. Another goal to tell you about. In one of the other ties is coming, Dortmund, where it was 0-0, but it is 0-0 no longer. It is the German side. Borussia Dortmund have taken the lead there in that one. Karim Adeyemi with the goal has given Borussia Dortmund the lead. And an interesting point to make tonight, Ethan Mbappe, the younger brother of Kylian, starts for Lille in that game. In that one, so a big night for the Mbappe family. Two Mbappes playing across Europe tonight. Ethan for Lille and Kylian for Real Madrid. But it is 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund in that one. Griezmann. Barrios, Griezmann again. Now Rodrigo de Paul wide to Simeone. Trying to up their tempo a little bit. Atleti passing a little bit quicker, but a little bit of a bobbled ball to Griezmann given away. Now Vinny Jr. finding Mbappe on the spin. He's got options. Finds Rodrigo wide on the right hand side here. Comes in field. Back to try and find Mbappe, but good block in there by Lino, who was tracking in. Atleti trying to stifle Real Madrid with the tight spaces, but they've got the quality to get out of them. And Camavinga finding Valverde in space. Camavinga turning into bodies, but striding his way through. He kind of overrun that one. And now given away, and here's the space for the counter. Barrios, Griezmann finding Julian Alvarez, leaves it for De Paul to make the run outside on the right. Tracked all the way by Mendy, but a nice ball in behind. And Simeone breaks away from his man and gets it across, and the clearance off the line. Fede Valverde again clearing it. Alvarez lines it up for the shot from Barrios. Well over the bar. That was much better from Atleti. Lovely little silky football on the counter. Great work from Simeone. Beats off his man, and as he tries to square it across the 6-yard box, does really well against Brahim. And as he gets it across the 6-yard box, it's Fede Valverde stretching. Lino was at the back post again. And again it's Fede Valverde who gets his leg across and makes the crucial challenge off the line to deny Atleti a chance to level. That was so much better from Atleti. Really the first time tonight we've really seen them carve Real Madrid open. And it all came on the counter-attack. Oh, given away there by Llorente. Camavinga. Brahim's ball too short to Vinicius Jr. Atleti can retrieve. Not for very long though, as it's given away by Simeone. And Llorente has to battle to win it back, but in the process takes out Vinicius Jr. And it's going to be a free kick to Real Madrid, which Marcos Llorente is disputing. We'll see it again. Yeah, there was very little in it. Let's just say a bit theatrical from Vinicius Jr. there. A bit theatrical. But a free kick is given by the referee. A referee, by the way, this evening for this one is Clément Turpin from France. And VAR is Jérôme Brissard, also from France. And as Rodrigo takes this free kick, left-hand side for Madrid. right-footed into the box, too high, and All Black makes the save and parries it out into the path of a Atleti player, and Galan, who just runs into trouble, but he's going to get a foul out of it. Looked a bit soft on Galan there. See it again, the cross but delivered in. There's nothing in that for offside or anything like that, and All Black diving just gets down a little bit late, and all he could do is parry it. He couldn't catch it, and it ends up, I think, a simple enough corner to deal, or a set piece to deal with there from Atleti's position defensively. Ball out wide here to Galan. Crowd certainly up for this occasion, as they always are, the Real Madrid fans, the Madridistas. As De Paul with the ball in, header not fully dealt with. Oh, a little bit of calmness there with Freddy Valverde again. The air of calm, although he's given the ball away cheaply there to Longley. Again, I have to see a replay of what happened, but Real Madrid got a little bit unnerved. A nice cross by Rodrigo De Paul from the right-hand side. And Atleti starting to build a little bit more and starting to grow into this game. Pushing to try and find a equalising goal. As Vinicius Jr.'s attempt of a counter-attack well closed down. We have another goal in Eindhoven. However, there might be a VAR check. So we will hold fire on that one. Arsenal have had the ball in the net for the third time this evening, but we will hold fire on that one. Mikel Merino was the one that put the ball in the net, but that goal is being checked, so could be 3-0 to Arsenal, but we will wait on the confirmation from VAR. As Lino makes the move down the left side here for Atleti, cuts it in field. Griezmann not given the chance to shoot there by the backtracking Brahim. Griezmann a bit untidy with the ball, although the clearance from Camavinga was retrieved by the Atleti backline. And that's nice work cross field that from Longley, brought down by Llorente. Barrios on the move, out on the right hand side it comes to Simeone, back to De Paul. Oh. Here's Lino through the lines. Griezmann trying to cut it back to Simeone. Does the second time around. And gets it back to Llorente. No major hurry here at the minute at Atleti. They're taking their time. They have been growing into the game. Have looked a little bit more threatening in the last few minutes as Galan there finds the run of Alvarez down the left. Skips away from Camavinga. Alvarez will curl one! Oh, wow! Oh, goodness me! If you thought Rodrigo's shot was good, Julian Alvarez is much better and top quality. They've been threatening for a leveller, and it's always their top scorer was going to get it. Julian Alvarez with a top-class finish and gets Atleti back on terms. That is a wonderful goal. Nice little ball in behind by Lino. Or sorry, Galan, apologies. Alvarez steps away from Camavinga, and as he does, he cuts into the box. No one else trying to stop him. Camavinga wasn't getting there, and as he sees the space open up, he spots the area he wants to find. He cuts it on his right foot, curls it to the back post. It comes off the inside of the post and into the net. It is a scintillating goal. Sumptuous. And Atletico Madrid are back on level terms. And you knew it was always going to be that man, Julian Alvarez. He has turned into a goal machine this season for Atleti. 7th Premier League or Champions League goal of the season. 1-1. Wow. That was quality at its finest. Absolutely remarkable. And they've been pushing for it, as I said. They've been growing into the game. They've been getting further forward. And I think a couple of minutes before their equaliser, they had their best chance of the game. And I said if they keep doing that, they will build back into this game. They'll not panic. They'll not rush things. And they just became a little bit more threatening. Whether Real Madrid became a bit complacent, or whether the fact that Atleti just grew in confidence by the fact of the way they had started to defend Real Madrid a little bit better and had a little bit more of the ball. Maybe they just grew in confidence with a little bit more possession, and they tried to be a little bit more adventurous, and ultimately it's paid off. They've been played into a little bit of a wriggle there. It's Mendy, Tchouaméni finding Rodrigo. Out wide it goes to Valverde. Back to Rodrigo. Through the lines, Mbappe on the turn. Gets into the box. Well charged down by Barrios on the cover. And cleared away from danger. I can confirm to you that that third goal for Arsenal does stand. Mikel Merino has made it 3-0. And Arsenal absolutely cruising in Eindhoven this evening. Making easy work of the Dutch side at this moment in time. Although it's not all good news, they just had to make an injury substitution. Miles Lewis-Skelly has had to make way for Ricardo Calafiori, so another injury problem to another promising star at left back, Miles Lewis-Skelly, for Arsenal. But at the moment, they're cruising in the Champions League. 3-0 up after 36 minutes. But here, it's a lot tighter of an affair, as we expected it to be. These two tussling along with Barcelona in a three-way battle for the La Liga title this season. The La Liga title race, probably one of the most exciting across Europe at this moment in time, with just 3 points separating Spain's top three clubs at this minute in time. Real Madrid at the minute third in La Liga. They are the team on 54. Atleti on 56 and Barcelona leading the way on 57, but very little between the sides. As Rudiger hits one from long range, which was well over the bar. It was worth a hit. They always are on occasion, because you never know what can unleash. We see this goal again. You would never get enough of this. You could watch this goal time and time and time again. It just gets better every time I see it. It's just beautiful. The composure, the sheer quality and skill to whip a ball like that, to curl it so precisely that it goes in off the inside of the post. That's what makes it such sweeter as well, that it just curled inside the post. Oh, fabulous. Real Madrid get a corner here on the right hand side, and Rodrigo will take right-footed delivery, cleared away by Griezmann. As Los Blancos try and get themselves back in front. And that time well defended again from Atleti on the set piece. And of course, you know, obviously Real Madrid with the early start, they would have been no fools to know that it wasn't going to be an easy run. You know this team they're facing tonight very, very well. And already this season, quite interestingly, they've met twice in La Liga this campaign so far. And on both occasions they drew one each. They've actually drawn 1-1 in all of their last 3 meetings. All coming in La Liga, of course. Last time either of these two won against each other. Atleti beat Real Madrid after extra time in the Copa del Rey round of 16 back in January of last year. Real Madrid's last non-cup victory against Atleti last came in September 2022 when they beat them 2-1 in the league. So 2.5 years since Real Madrid won a Madrid Derby in La Liga, which is very interesting. They've been very well matched over recent years, and Atleti maybe have just had Real Madrid's number in the last number. And that's what makes this Champions League tie so exciting, is the fact that it has been such a close battle between the two teams over the last number of years. And Atleti, if anything, have actually got stronger this season. You know, we watched them in the league phase of the Champions League, and they were absolutely incredible. You know, won 6 of their 8 games in the league phase, 5th in the top 8, of course, and automatically qualifying for the round of 16. And they were one of those teams where you thought, well, they could challenge for a top 8 spot, but you wouldn't guarantee them. You wouldn't say that Atleti before the season would have been a shoo-in for top 8, but they certainly were a competitive side. I think they shown their quality in the league phase, and of course, obviously this will be the first time we'll have seen them in over a month in this competition. And so far tonight, I think they had a little bit of a wobble to start off with. They had a little bit of an early struggle in the first 5-10 minutes, but since they've got a little bit more of the ball, they have been a little bit more threatening in the game. It's a bit of a lull at the moment, but Atleti have just come a little bit unsettled in the last minute or so, but they've dealt with that situation well down the right hand side, and now they want to try turn forward. Simeone, lots of space here for Griezmann to take his time, finding Galan on the overlap. He's got Lino, and he takes that pass. Lino gives it back to Griezmann, still on this left hand side is with Galan. Griezmann again. 5 minutes of the first half to go. 1-1 here in the Bernabeu between Real Madrid and Atleti here this evening. Griezmann down the line, finding Galan. In behind, looking for the run of Lino. Back in field to Griezmann. Triangle link up. It's Galan again, gets past his man, covering in Rodrigo. And they tried that reverse ball in behind for the run, but it was not to be seen. Not on the same page there with his attackers on that moment. Galan. Again, Atleti have got the ball back, and Real Madrid struggling to get the ball at the minute. Here's Rodrigo de Paul. We have another goal in Eindhoven, an absolute goal fest there. And PSV have got one back. It is from the penalty spot, and it's Noah Lang that has got them a goal back in the Champions League. It is PSV 1, Arsenal 3. It's a long way back, but it's certainly a start and a step in the right direction for the Dutch side. It is PSV 1, Arsenal 3 in Eindhoven. Decent penalty by Noah Lang as well. Here in Madrid, still old square, 1-1. Atleti maybe edging it slightly in the last minute or so. Real Madrid have had very little of the possession in the last few minutes. Just passing it around calmly at the minute, Atleti. A couple of jeers from the crowd, and the fact of how much possession Atletico Madrid are having at the moment. Here's Galan. Infield to Barrios, out wide to Julian Alvarez. Using his pace infield, lays it off to De Paul. Very narrow. As De Paul couldn't find a wide option, they were very narrow. Although Mbappe was given no room to break. And they're back on it again, Atleti. Griezmann. There's good counter-pressing there. They give the ball away in the central areas, but as I said all night, they've been very strong centrally. Atleti out of possession, and they win the ball back really quickly. Let's keep the pressure on Real Madrid at the moment, ending this half. It's Longley gets it back to Jimenez. Now out wide on the left for Lino to pick up and drive forward with the ball down the left channel. He's got Galan on the outside. Lino goes for the inside, well blocked. Although Barrios In a tussle there. Mbappe very deep to win the ball, but Rodrigo right into traffic, gets his way through, finds Mbappe, who couldn't find the toe poke towards Vinicius Jr. And Atleti back on the ball again. Rodrigo to Paul. Barrios. Griezmann back in field to Paul again. Barrios goes out wide to Galan this time. Space in that left channel. Galan's infield pass given away. And now Rodrigo trying to find the overlap of Fede Valverde. That was sent flying by Longley there, who came across. Last minute of the first half here in the Bernabeu. And I don't think the energy's been zapped out of the stadium, but it's been a little bit more reserved in the last few minutes. Camavinga gives it wide to Rodrigo. Only end the half the stronger here, Madrid. That's a nice ball in behind, and the shot from the narrow angle from Valverde easily taken out by Jan Black. Nice little ball by Tchouaméni. Good run on the reverse by Fede Valverde, but from the narrow angle, easily gathered by Jan Black. And there is no added time at the end of the half. It is half time in the first leg of this round of 16 tie in the Madrid Derby. And at the moment, as it has been in the last 3 league meetings in the first half here, there's nothing to separate these two teams. Half time at the Bernabeu. It's Real Madrid 1. Atletico Madrid 1. Analysis and a look around the grounds on the way next. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Champions League Live this evening for the Madrid Derby. First leg of this round of 16 tie. It's Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid. And at the moment it is 1-1 in the Bernabeu. Rodrigo with the opener, and the equaliser scored quite fantastically by Julian Alvarez to level the game. Elsewhere, earlier this evening, Club Brugge were beaten by 3-1 at home against Aston Villa. Leon Bailey opened the scoring for Villa. Minutes after that, De Kuiper got the leveller for Bruges, but 2 late goals for Aston Villa. Mikel with an own goal with 8 minutes to go, and then Marco Asensio from the penalty spot made it a 2-goal advantage for Aston Villa, heading back to Villa Park next week for the second leg. At the moment, Villa in a very, very comfortable position, but not out of the woods just yet, shall we say. Just coming to half-time. They're actually all half-time now in our 8 o'clock games, where Borussia Dortmund have just nicked a second, or they thought, sorry, they'd nicked a second, because we've just heard an update. That goal was disallowed, so they thought they'd scored a second there, Borussia Dortmund. just before half-time, but it is just the one they lead by at the break. Karim Adeyemi with the goal has given Borussia Dortmund a half-time lead in Dortmund. Lille still battling in there, the only side tonight not to have scored as of yet. Lille, but of course, as I mentioned, Ethan Mbappe starting this evening for Lille, so a big moment for him in the Champions League. It's been a goal fest in Eindhoven at Philips Arena, because it has been a cracking game between PSV Eindhoven and Arsenal. Very little, really, you would think, to separate the sides coming into this one, on an Arsenal side who couldn't really score goals in the last number of games after losing quite a lot of their centre forwards and their forward players. But tonight they look like they are sharing the goals around, and quite confidently. They cruised into a 3-goal lead inside 35 minutes, did Arsenal. Jurrien Timber, Ethan Nwaneri and Mikel Merino, none of the three are out-and-out centre forwards or attackers really, and all three have goals tonight, but Noah Lang's penalty brought it back down to 2-goal advantage for Arsenal at the break in Eindhoven. It is 3-1. So that's the way we stand there. Here in Madrid, it is Real 1, Atleti 1. As I mentioned, Rodrigo with a nice finish, a really quality finish to open the scoring early doors. But Atleti, certainly Julian Alvarez's equaliser, is the best of the night so far, with the quality of goal that was. Absolutely sensational finish. Really quality goal that got Atleti back on terms. And I think if we sum up that first half, really, and analyse the first 45 in context, I would have to say it's a fair reflection of that first half, because I think both sides had their moments, their spells of control in the game, their spells of being on top or kind of dominating in a sense. Both sides have had their really positive spells, but both sides have also had that lull period in the game where they've just not been on the boil, and I think it's kind of ebbed and flowed in that first half. When Real Madrid started the better, they got their goal, then Atleti kind of settled the game down, they started to get into the game, then they got their equaliser, and then I think towards the end of the half, Real Madrid had a little spell, and then Atleti just kind of settled that out again towards the half. So I think it's ebbed and flowed right the way throughout the first 45 minutes, and there's neither side at the minute can really claim that they've been overall the better team. And I think that's why a half-time level at half-time is the fair reflection of that first half. Because I think, as I said, Real Madrid started the better of the two teams. They come out like a house on fire. They really started with energy, really started with good quality. But I think on top of that as well, Atleti come out a little bit slow. They were a little bit wayward in their passing. They were a little bit off it in those early moments, and I think they got caught napping a little bit. Fabulous little tactic, beautiful ball by Valverde, sweet little run in behind from Rodrigo, and then the finish is just quite incredible, quite scintillating. Really lovely goal to open the scoring, and I think that caught Atleti a little bit napping, and I think as well forgetting the fact they could have possibly conceded a penalty as well just a few minutes after that, when I think it was Brahim, or no, sorry, it was Rodrigo again, sorry, it was the same moment, exactly the same move, almost 2 or 3 minutes after the goal, exactly the same thing. Rodrigo making the move in behind. This time it was a switch ball, so it was maybe a little bit easier for Rodrigo, but he again went round the outside of Galan, and Galan the second time got a little bit more physical. Rodrigo went to the ground, could have been given a penalty. I didn't think it was a penalty, I didn't think it was correct to give a penalty, and I think the referee got the right decision not giving one. But I think the quality, Galan got a little bit more physical and dealt with that situation. But again, that early threat of that run from the outside to in, on the outside of the defender, round the back of the defender, to get into that space, really quality run. And you have to time those types of runs to perfection. And Rodrigo had a number of them early on, and certainly it was the idea from Real Madrid to target that in those early moments. So Atleti could have been 2-0 down if the penalty was given the other way. I think it's correct that it wasn't in the end, but we then see a period of where Atleti do get a bit more confident on the ball. I think Real Madrid give them a little bit more possession in the game, and I think, not that Real Madrid give them a little bit more possession, but they get a little bit more possession really, Atleti, and I think that settled them down in the game a little bit more. They became a bit more relaxed and a little bit more calm in the way they want to play and in their game, and they started to play passes, started to get comfortable with the pitch, started to kind of understand their game plan and really kind of drill the ball about a lot better. And I think the first real time we've seen that was a really good move down the right-hand side. And I think it was a clearance by Fede Valverde that was the biggest threat of the game, that clearance off the line from Lino, that really kind of sparked Atleti into life to try and think, well, we've got the chance to try and get an equaliser here. We're on top with a better side. We're producing some good opportunities. And then, of course, that goal comes. And no doubting it is pure individual quality from Julian Alvarez. But I think if Atleti don't have that little bit of confidence in the 2 or 3 minutes beforehand, I don't think he scores that goal. And I'm not saying that Julian Alvarez, I'm not saying anything controversial here. I'm just saying the fact that I don't think he would have himself in that position to try and score that goal if Atleti didn't have that little bit of confidence just in leading up to that. But again, taking nothing away from the finish, Eduardo Camavinga a little bit off it. Really nice work from Julian Alvarez. Steps away from the challenge, steps in field, kind of drives it onto his right foot, and then as he gets into the box, he spots where he wants to put the ball, and it's just a wonderful curling effort. Beautiful kind of spin on the ball, the curl to the back post. It just kind of neatly kind of touches the back post on the inside and just kind of sweeps into the net. It was a beautiful goal, absolutely quality. That get Atleti the leveller. And I think then, towards the end of the half, it was just a bit even between the two sides. Again, ebbing and flowing to the end. But I think, no doubting, taken away from it, that first half, both sides deserved a goal. And their 2 goals, top quality goals, beautifully worked. That's what the Champions League's all about. I think both sides defensively haven't been open, or haven't been off it tonight. I think both sides defensively have actually been quite solid. But I think 2 bits of really good quality football break the other team down, and sometimes they are just not defendable. I think, no doubting, on both occasions they could have defended the situations better. I think Atleti could have been a little bit more aggressive to getting out to Rodrigo and better at distributing their defenders, because Galán was on his own. The other 3 defenders were on the far side of the pitch. There was a gaping hole, there was a gap, but Galán spotted Rodrigo, but he just couldn't get out there quick enough. He was kind of caught in 2 minds of trying to stay compact with his defenders or he wanting to get out wide to his man, and he caught in no man's land, and ultimately a little bit too laboured, not making one choice or the other, kind of caught him off there. But then Real Madrid, they could have done better for the equaliser and defending that a little bit better in the lead up to the goal. So there are things they could have improved on, but I don't think it will be overcritical or uber critical of either defence so far. It's just 2 great quality goals that have us where we are at the minute. And sometimes you have to take the rough with the smooth, in a sense, especially in the Champions League. And if Atleti can come away with a good result tonight, which would be a draw, to take back to their stadium, to the Metropolitano next week, they would certainly take it against the reigning European champions, albeit, as I said, they've kind of had Real Madrid's number in the last number of years, getting quite a few draws out of Real Madrid when they face each other in the derby. But at the moment, they're repeating that same regime once again, 1-1. At the break, right, the second half of the game, which I am incredibly happy to have chosen to commentate on tonight, because I'm no doubting the fact that those 2 goals make up for whatever happened elsewhere. I don't care what happened elsewhere, because this game tonight looks to be the most exciting and certainly the closest tussle across Europe this evening. Tomorrow night, Feyenoord host Inter Milan, another close battle. Barcelona head to Benfica, where they struggled earlier in the campaign. They already beat them, and that was a crazy late game. 5-4, I think it ended up in Benfica in Lisbon in the league phase matchup. It is then the top 2 in Germany facing off as Munich take on Leverkusen, and then the top 2 in Liga and in the Premier League, the 2 league leaders in those leagues. PSG against Liverpool, 2 teams that look to be champions-elect in their respective leagues. face off at the Parc des Princes tomorrow night as well. Looking forward to all of that. But the second half, firstly, of the Madrid Derby between Real Madrid and Atleti in the Champions League is on the way next. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Champions League Live, second half at the Bernabeu on the way in just a moment. Don't forget then, tomorrow night, PSG against Liverpool is our big game tomorrow. PSG, who made easy work of Man City in the league phase, of course. They host Liverpool at the Parc des Princes tomorrow for the first leg of that round of 16 ties. Arne Slot's Liverpool head to another big European away side. Certainly not their first rodeo this season. Right, that's to come tomorrow night. But back to tonight's action as the players in the tunnel ready to return to the field for the second half here for this Madrid derby between Real Madrid and Atleti. Where it is 1-1 at the moment. And a long way to go in this tie. Just a quarter of the way through the tie. A long way to go before anything is decided. And the scoreline certainly reflecting how close it is between these two at the moment in terms of their individual quality. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't done so already. That would be greatly appreciated. And we thank everybody for joining us tonight for this big night of Champions League action across Europe. We're loving the competition this season. Has been so much more entertaining. I don't know what it is about the Champions League this season, but it's really been massively entertaining. Certainly love this campaign so far. Who knows, it might be the new format, but it's certainly been very exciting. Very, very exciting. Real Madrid kicking from right to left in the second half towards their ultras, and of course Atleti obviously kicking the opposite direction from left to right. But of course, obviously the second half of this game, I don't know what approach both teams will have. Will they want to go for the win? I don't think either team would be happy with settling for a draw at such a stage, because there is such a long time to go in the tie, and especially in this first leg as well. But you would have to say, maybe depending on how it goes for the final 20 minutes of this game, we'll decide what way both sides will want to play the last 20 minutes. You know, if it's still 1-1, I think Atleti would kind of say, do you know what, we don't want to force a second in spite of maybe conceding a second and then not having something to take back to the Metropolitano with next week. But if Real Madrid are 1-1, then would you either think, well, would they settle for a draw and try and beat Atleti on their home patch? Or will they try and push for that winning goal to give them something to take to the Metropolitano? So it's interesting, but we're nowhere near closer to trying to figure that out. And that's what makes this second half quite intriguing, is the fact that, you know, there are so many different outcomes that can come in this second half ahead of that second leg in 8 days' time. As Mbappe is going to go from distance, but you could see when he was lining up for the shot, it was never really going to threaten Jan Oblak. Left-footed effort, kind of slightly scuffed it into the ground and took all the power off it. Jan Oblak had it comfortably, but there is the Madrid hierarchy watching on tonight. Lots of men in suits. Have to say, a lot of pleasantries up there in the stands. A bit less pleasantry on the field, and that's what we love. That's what we want to see. But of course, you know, these two sides, they're not going to be slogging it out like an old-style derby classic of the old days, cutting pieces out of each other. But I think what makes this derby so interesting is because of the quality from both teams. It's how good both teams are. And you got to say, Atletico Madrid, other than Barcelona and Real Madrid, have probably been the best of the rest, in a sense, in La Liga, probably over the last 10 years with Diego Simeone. You know, if Real Madrid or Barcelona aren't on their kind of high horse, or they're kind of at their peak, Atleti are there to try and trip them up. Atleti are there to threaten, and they're always seen to be that kind of team that never goes away. They're always there. That was a force ball by Simeone. In the end, got a bit fortunate, but kept alive. That's a nice turn by Lino in field, finding Barrios. Now finding De Paul. Simeone back to De Paul. Nice little work finding Alvarez. De Paul's continued his run. He's in the box. Simeone on the right hand side here. Cuts it back to Paul. Will whip it round the back. Too high for Julian Alvarez. And Valverde will have to go and watch Galan here. He's picking up down the left side. Left footed crossing by Jimenez. Cleared away by Rudiger. And Brahim trying to let off Vinicius Jr. He has to turn back to Antonio Rudiger there. We have another goal in Eindhoven to tell you about, and just before half-time, Noah Lang gave PSV a little bit of positivity in the tie with that penalty goal. Well, positivity no more. Arsenal have restored their 3-goal advantage. It is 4-1. Martin Ødegaard with the fourth. Arsenal really making easy work of PSV. They could have this tie done tonight if they continue on this type of form, Arsenal, because they're in again. And they've scored again. Have they? They haven't. It's 5-1. I've literally, just as I'm talking about Arsenal, they've scored a fifth. It's 5-1. Wow. I think that was Leandro Trossard that got the fifth. Arsenal running riot there as Jimenez got a bit nervy there. Under pressure from Vinicius Jr. and gives away a cheap corner here. Rodrigo to deliver for Madrid. Flicked on. Senthio got the header to it. Mbappe trying to dribble his way around the box. Barrios well marshalled. Vinicius Jr. trying to swing it out to the right side. Valverde brings it down. Rodrigo takes it. Finding Tchouaméni. Not much space as Tchouaméni into the box. Camavinga couldn't bring it down and cleared away of danger. It's a little bit better from Real Madrid there. It's a little bit better from them. Well, that ball through the middle, given away, and now Atleti want a counter-attack. Down the right-hand side comes Simeone. Back to De Paul. Finds the space for Griezmann. Not trying to overcommit, although Griezmann spotted a little run here of Galan down the left-hand side. Linking up with Lino. Plays it into Alvarez. Edge of the box. Alvarez lays it off to De Paul. De Paul feeds it through, just a bit short to Simeone. And well cut out by Eduardo Camavinga in the box. And Mendy had nowhere to go there. That was fabulous pressing again from Atleti. Ball back to Courtois, who gets rid, sends it long. It's a bit of nerves, really, in Real Madrid's play at the moment. They can't keep command of the ball. Simeone. This is a spell of the game where Atleti need to make this Real Madrid lull count. The fact that they're dominating the ball, having the better of it, and Real Madrid look a little bit nervous. This is where Atleti need to make their chance. Need to make their Opportunities count. Here is Simeone again, down the right side. Well, unless PSV are going to absolutely destroy Arsenal in either the next 40 minutes or the second leg, it looks like the winner of this game will be facing the Gunners in the quarterfinals. That's maybe a bit early to say, but they're 4 goals up, Arsenal. They're winning 5-1 in Eindhoven. This was meant to be the tough game of the tie. As the jeering continues, Atleti just popping it around here. Gallant down the left-hand side, looking for the cross into the box. All the way through. Oh, brought down by De Paul. Charged down by Ferland Mendy. That was again nervous from Real Madrid. No one wanted to commit. No one wanted to get in the way of the ball. Rudiger was nowhere to be seen. He was just kind of flapping about. And as the ball bounced down, De Paul actually takes a heavy touch. It actually takes it away from Ferland Mendy, which is really good. And from the narrow angle, Mendy gets back in and blocks for the corner. But Atleti on top here at the moment. Alvarez with a corner. Swung in, cleared away. And it's going to be a free kick given against Atleti here for foul on Aurelien Tchouameni by Clement Longley. See it again. It's not actually Tchouameni. Apologies. Just a bit of a push in there. Rodrigo. Well, of course, I did mention before these two, there's no doubting they know each other very well. Oh, here we go. Real Madrid into the box here. Brahim trying to eke his way through. Still going! And Real Madrid are back in front. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. Atleti failed to take their opportunity at one end when Real Madrid looking a bit of a lull. And right up the other end, Real Madrid take the lead once again. They can kill you on literally nothing. And Brahim Diaz has given Real Madrid the lead again. It's a little move down the left side. Ferland Mendy linking it up well with Brahim. And then the layoff from Vinicius Jr. to Ferland Mendy again. And Brahim Diaz surrounded by Atleti shirts. But little dribble round Jimenez inside Simeone. And with a right-footed effort to the far corner. Nestled in the bottom right corner. Lovely goal. And that is exactly what Real Madrid can do to you. No matter how good you're playing, no matter how bad they're playing, they've always got the firepower. And just when they felt they were losing control, they grasp it all the way back again with a little bit of individual quality. And Brahim Diaz with the goal puts Real Madrid back in front. Real Madrid 2, Atleti 1. And there you are. I have to say, all 3 goals tonight have been proper quality. Proper individual quality goals. Beating defenders. Proper scintillating finishes. I mean, just top quality football. Just really good. And that's got the crowd going again, and maybe that's got Real Madrid going again. A goal can change a game. That's a darted ball forward. Too much pace for Mbappe to bring down. And it goes flying through to Jan Oblak. But Atleti again, I said it literally about 2 minutes before Real Madrid scored. I said if Atleti are on top here, they need to try and find that opportunity and take it. Because if they don't, Real Madrid will kill them. Real Madrid will get back. That's nicer. Griezmann, couldn't squeeze in behind. And Valverde had come across again. He's got Real Madrid out of trouble. Not for the first time tonight. And he's maybe taken a little bit of a knock on the way through there. We'll see that ball. Simeone played it through to Griezmann. And Valverde does really, really well. I have to say, for someone who isn't a defender out and out, Fede Valverde, he has made some great defensive challenges tonight. A number of really quality defending opportunities for Real Madrid from Fede Valverde. That's why he's got the captain's armband. He's certainly offering a captain's-like performance so far. Camavinga. Vinicius Jr. Blocked by Simeone. Throw into Real Madrid. Well, Brahim Diaz, I've just seen his confirmation that he got a yellow card there. Well, he didn't commit a bad challenge or anything like that. He was given a yellow card for over-celebrating. Well, there you are. If you're going to get a yellow card in a game, you would want to get one for over-celebrating rather than anything else. But Brahim on a yellow card. The first yellow card of the night, I believe. It is. Speaking of yellow cards, there are a number of players tonight that, if they get yellow cards, will be suspended for the second leg. 5 in the Real Madrid squad. 3 of them who've started tonight. Rudiger, Tchouaméni and Camavinga. Any of them get yellows, they will miss the second leg. Like, of course, Jude Bellingham is missing this game tonight. And Jose Maria Jimenez, if he gets a yellow card for Atleti, he will be suspended for the second leg. So a couple of players walking a little bit of a tightrope tonight and looking to avoid a second leg suspension here this evening. A few players on the bench as well. Modric, Endrick and Correa all in that situation. And if Carlo Ancelotti gets a yellow card, he will also not be on the touchline for the second leg. So a couple of those stipulations. But just the yellow card for Brahim Diaz, but he is not affected at the moment. Just over 30 minutes to go. Atleti 2-1 down. Real Madrid getting back in front at the start of the second half. After Atleti started the better of the two teams. That's a nice ball by Simeone. Griezmann! Oh, I think it might have took a touch from Thibaut Courtois. There was no one following in, but Griezmann from the tight angle made Thibaut Courtois make a move. And Atleti given a free kick there as Clement Longley was brought down. See this again. Griezmann beats past Rudiger and from the narrow angle tries to find the far corner. It might have been just going wide, but it got a right hand from Thibaut Courtois to take it away from goal. Alvarez was the closest, but he wasn't close enough to follow in. That's, again, a threat from Atleti. Despite leading Real Madrid, they're still not out of the water. Certainly not out of danger. And they've a set piece to defend here as well. Atleti given the free kick high up the field. And Antoine Griezmann will take it here. Fizzes one into the box. Flick on round the back post. The shots! Oh, over the bar by Jose Maria Jimenez. Ball over the top. Jimenez was miles onside. It was Camavinga's header. Flicked it round the back for Jimenez. And as it bounced down, he took it on the half volley. And it was just over the bar. We see that second goal from Real Madrid again. Brahim Diaz. Absolutely quality. Class act. Changes incoming for Real Madrid at the moment. Eduardo Camavinga is making way. He's going to be replaced by Luka Modric. Of course it's Luka Modric. If you want to see through a game, you bring on the uber experienced Luka Modric, the 39-year-old Croatian. Done it so many times in this competition. You probably can't even count them on two hands, the many times he's done it in this competition. You need quite a many grouping of hands. The amount of times that Luka Modric has come on to solidify a game for Real Madrid that's a foul on Lino there by Fede Valverde. See that again. Lino does really well. Drags it with his right foot. Valverde just kind of caught him around the back, and it was a foul. Letty there. The ball was played forward towards Simeone, who was taken out off the ball by Ferland Mendy and denied him a chance of getting on the end of the ball. So Atleti had been given a free kick. But before that, I think they're going to make a double change, and I think we're going to see a yellow card for someone on the Real Madrid bench. It's not Carlo Ancelotti. I thought it was initially, but it's going to be someone on the Real Madrid bench given a yellow. One of the backroom staff there of Los Blancos. He's going to get himself a booking. I have no idea who that is, but they've got a yellow card. It's not Carlo Ancelotti. It's one of the backroom staff of Real Madrid. And a bit of a sarcastic thumbs up from that man to the referee, Clomo Turpin. Changes for Atleti. Simeone and Lino are going to make way, and Molina and Gallagher are going to come on for Atleti. Nahul Molina and, of course, Conor Gallagher coming on to replace them. And Simeone and Lino. So the two wide players coming off there for Atleti, as that's going to be a free kick. A bit of a tussle there between Rodrigo de Paul and Vinicius Jr. We'll see this again. Yeah, de Paul tries to play the ball in field, and as he gives the ball away, the through ball played by Tchouaméni to Vinicius Jr. And he maybe gets a slight touch on him. Yeah, it was definitely a free kick, but I think Kylian Mbappe was asking for a yellow. Didn't think the yellow was given, not that I saw. Just a free kick. Maybe this game getting a little bit more touchy. Maybe getting to this point in the game where pressure maybe ramps up a little bit more for both teams trying to get a result out of this game, and maybe it could just be a little bit more tetchy come the end. Still good 25 minutes to go as Ferland Mendy went on a little bit of a weaving run there, and the shot in the end gathered by Jan Oblak. It was a nice little weaving run, and as he struck it with the right, just a bit too close to Jan Oblak from Ferland Mendy there, which in the end saw the Atleti keeper take a firm grip of the ball. Black going long, trying to get it away from the Real Madrid press. What was committed there is Conor Gallagher battling in a few challenges. Maybe a little bit late on that one on Luka Modric. And free kick given to Real Madrid. Yeah, kind of stretching there, Gallagher. Maybe a little bit late. Modric. Mendy. Vinicius Jr. Nice 1-2 with him and Brahim Diaz. Vinicius Jr. on the left. Try to get past Rodrigo de Paul, who's dropping in to help out defensively, but Vinicius Jr. continues on his endeavour and wins Real Madrid a corner. And shouts to the crowd. Now Atleti will have a corner to defend on this left-hand side. Third Real Madrid corner, taken short by Modric, linking up with Brahim. Here's Brahim Diaz trying to whip one. A little bit too much on that one, too deep. And the cross going beyond everyone for a goal kick. Well, the last time, as I mentioned earlier this evening, the last time these two met in the Champions League was back in the 2016-17 season in the semi-final. Real Madrid won 3-0 in the first leg here. Atleti won 2-1 in the second leg, but of course that was nowhere near enough to send them through to the final. Of course, Real Madrid ultimately won that final, the second final in a row they were to win in the Champions League, in that three-peat run of 3 seasons in a row. Here's Mbappe trying to jink his little way around. Vinicius Jr. steps onto his right but runs into the body of Llorente, who eased him out of the way, and now Griezmann looking for a way forward for Atleti. Finding Galan, who gets past one. And good tracking back by Rodrigo, who did really well and cleanly won the ball back. Valverde was beaten, but he had the cover of Rodrigo back there to win it back for Real Madrid. Rudiger, breaking down the left side, finding Kylian Mbappe. Space here for Real Madrid. Lovely little turn by Brahim Diaz, breaking into the box, not given the chance to shoot. It will be a corner, denied him by Jimenez. That was a lovely little turn to take himself past Longley, who was dead there. The corner taken short again. Mbappe that time, here he is, linking up with Brahim. Back it goes to Modric, to Rodrigo. Well charged down that time by Longley, who puts it out for a throw on the right hand side for Real Madrid. They're trying to bat a third here, Madrid. I think Atleti need to be a little bit careful. Don't force the issue too much. Tchouaméni. Right to Brahim Diaz again. Back to Ferland Mendy. The two teams have met 228 times domestically. Of course, the most recent one, a 1-1 draw at the Bernabeu on the 8th of February. Julian Alvarez with a first half strike, but that was cancelled out by Kylian Mbappe in the second half to level the game. And as I said, it ended 1-1 in the reverse fixture earlier in the season. Eder Militao gave Real Madrid the lead in the early game in the season in the La Liga, for Angel Correa equalised in stoppage time. So 2 1-1 draws already this season. Madrid leading by 2-1 in this, the first leg of the Champions League round of 16 tie. Vinicius Jr. on the left side, blocked out well by the retrieving Atleti defenders, but Rodrigo de Paul there trying to clear his lines, ends up putting it out for a Real Madrid throw inadvertently. "20 minutes to go," and I said at the start of the half, what would the tactic be from both of these two teams heading into the final 20 minutes? Of course, depending on the scoreline, and of course Real Madrid winning 2-1, they'll not want to kind of step up off the pedal, take their foot off the pedal at the minute. They'll want to continue doing what they're doing because it's working, and they're continuing to threaten Atleti. But what do Atleti do? Do they try and push for an equaliser, or do they try and just sit off a little bit and maybe accept a 2-1 defeat? Albeit you don't want to accept defeat, but in the grand scheme of things, could that be better than maybe trying to risk an equaliser and then conceding maybe a third? We'll see what kind of approach they take. At the minute, I'm guessing they're going to go for the defensive one because they just made a substitution at Atleti, and Roman Lenormand has come on. Robin Lenormand has just come on at centre back, replacing Antoine Griezmann. So an extra defender for Atleti in these last 20 minutes. I think the approach from Diego Simeone might have just been laid out in that substitution alone. A goal in Dortmund has come in the last few minutes. Dortmund were leading no more. They're back level, Lille, and it's Haraldsson with the equalising goal. It is 1-1 in Dortmund. Valverde finding Luka Modric. Now Tchouaméni finding Vinicius Jr. a bit further infield, linking up with Brahim Diaz. Back to Tchouaméni, calmly passing the ball around in the final third. Rodrigo. Mbappe back to Tchouaméni. Rudiger wanted to shoot, didn't get the connection on it, and Norman can clear it away of danger. Bit of a bouncing ball there, and Alvarez took it on sweetly, but couldn't get past Asensio. That was really good defending. It looked like Julian Alvarez had absolutely sent Asensio to the dust, but it was a great recovery by the Real Madrid defender in Raúl Asensio. Get back at the Atleti centre forward. As that cross put behind for a Real Madrid corner. Julian Alvarez there, well marshalled by Asensio. It's fabulous defending. And alright, Real Madrid have a corner on this right hand side. Luka Modric to take. A third goal would be pretty ideal for Real Madrid. It will be pretty disappointing, pretty heartbreaking for Atleti if they were to concede a third, especially after they've made an extra defensive substitution. Speaking of said defender, Robin Lenormand was getting a little talking to from the ref there. So corner for Real Madrid. Lots of tussling in the box. The referee is telling Luka Modric to play the corner in. Right footed delivery, flicked on over the bar. Highly over the bar there from Raúl Asensio. Carlo Ancelotti was a bit slightly unhappy with the fact of the physicality in the box, but we see that all the time from corners. Nothing new from set pieces like that to get physical. Certainly the defensive side a little bit more physical. Modric there failing to keep the ball in play. Letty will have a throw in down the left side. There's still a good 15 minutes to come here at the Bernabeu. Real Madrid leading by 2-1. And Atleti are going to make another double change at the moment. So coming off, Rodrigo de Paul and Barrios as well. Pablo Barrios. So a double substitution of the two midfielders. And Sorloth and Correa, Alexander Sorloth and Angel Correa are going to be coming on here. I mean, they made a defensive change a moment or two ago. Now they're going to go for two big attackers in Sorloth and Correa to add to the attack, to try and go for something here and try and score a late equaliser, to take a draw back to the Metropolitano in 8 days' time. Of course, that's a fine balance for Atleti to try and find in these later stages. There's no fine balance in Eindhoven because there's just been a 6th goal scored by Arsenal. They have absolutely pumped PSV Eindhoven on their own patch tonight, and Arsenal have shown up and some. A 6th goal, Martin Odegaard with a strike. Keeper should have done better, really, in my opinion there. Walter Benitez should have done better, and it's 6-1 to Arsenal. A 5-goal lead in the tie, and they've still got the home leg to come next week. PSV 1, Arsenal 6. 6. I think we can quite clearly say the winner of this tie will play Arsenal in the quarter-finals. Here's Vinicius Jr. Back to Ferland Mendy. Modric. Wide to Asensio. Now Rodrigo down the right flank. Comes inside. Back to Rudiger. Here is Vinicius Jr. stepping in field, trying to link up with Mbappe. Well blocked, although Ferland Mendy's kept it alive. Diaz finding Mendy again. Mbappe. Vinicius Jr. couldn't get on the end of that one. But Atleti can't get up the field at the minute. Correa couldn't find his fellow substitute in Alexander Sorloth there, and right back at you come Real Madrid. That's lovely from Tchouaméni. Lovely little turn under pressure and fizzes one out to Fede Valverde just effortlessly. Just looking to get over the line tonight, Real Madrid. Just take this win. They'll take it all day long. That's a nice ball by Mbappe out wide. Rodrigo comes back in field. Too far ahead of Mbappe as the clearance only as far as Valverde. Feeds Mbappe down the right flank. Again, closed out well, the Frenchman. So let's see, can they get something forward? There's nobody up the field for them at all. There's no out ball at the minute. Every time they try and clear it, there's just no one there up the field to keep it and try and hold the ball up for Atleti, get them forward. They're just pumping the ball right back to Real Madrid possession. And they're comfortable on it at the minute, Real Madrid. Need to try something. Atleti, they're in a 5-4-1 formation, out of possession at the minute. Sorloth is the sole striker. They're just trying to block Real Madrid solidly, but they've just got no counter-attack. An out ball at the minute. Brahim Diaz there. Went down. And foul as he gets back to his feet. And lets it get a little bit of possession here. Well, Real Madrid have won 12 of their 23 games against Spanish sides in Europe. They've lost just one of those of 8 home European games against Spanish teams. 5 wins, 2 draws and 1 defeat. 7 of their last 9 European games, Real Madrid, against Spanish teams have involved Atleti. So it's certainly not a new proposition. And of course the exceptions were the Super Cup victories against Sevilla in 2014 and in 2016. 7 of their 9 European games against Spanish teams have all been Atleti. That's lovely from Sorloth. Rarity of attacking play here. They've got bodies in the box. Here at Atleti, Correa couldn't find the cross, wanted handball, not going to get it. Julian Alvarez, wide again to Correa. Trying to find Sorloth in the box. Got his head to it, but couldn't direct it towards goal. As that's a over-crunching challenge by Robin Lenormand on Vinicius Jr. And a free kick to Real Madrid to get themselves out of bother there. But their bodies forward for a second there. Atleti, and Juan Galan there trying to get a penalty. That was never a penalty. Arm by his side there for the Real Madrid defender. Nothing in that. Less than 10 minutes to go here in Madrid. And it's Real Madrid who have that narrow advantage at this minute in time. Brahim Diaz's goal at the minute is the difference between the two sides. Atleti trying to find that balance between defence and attack. Not looking to concede a third, but also not settling for a 2-1 defeat. Just trying to find that balance and trying to find that equalising goal. It's as tough as anything against the Real Madrid side, who know they really don't need to force the issue at the moment. But that was a poor ball forward. Valverde could only head it out of play there. Well, Atleti's record against Spanish teams, they've won 10 of their 23 games against Spanish opposition in Europe. 8 losses and 10 wins. But their away record against Spanish teams in Europe is a lot less to be desired. They've won just 1 of 9 away games against Spanish teams in Europe, losing 6 of those games. And the last 4 European matches against Spanish clubs have involved Real Madrid, and 7 of the last 9 have involved Madrid. For Atleti, the exception to that was when they faced Barcelona in the 15-16 quarter-finals. Gallagher plays it out to the left-hand side for Galán. Back to Conor Gallagher. 7 minutes for Atleti to try and find a late equaliser. Alvarez a little bit deeper, trying to find the space to find a manoeuvring forward. Just runs himself into trouble and given away to Rodrigo, who sends Mbappe on the run. And he's got there ahead of Jimenez. Here's Mbappe trying to charge at the byline. Took a heavy touch. Will be a goal kick. Yeah, wasn't too bad. Decent effort again, but it's that fine balance that Atleti need to find between defence and attack in these latter stages. As Real Madrid did make a change there a minute ago, as I was talking about Atleti's record. Fede Valverde has made way for Lucas Vázquez for the last few minutes, so Vázquez on at right back for Real Madrid. Jimenez out wide to the left for Galán, to Gallagher. Looking for options. Can't find any forward options. Has to go back to Lenormand. Robin Lenormand out to the right hand side for Correa. Back to Lenormand. Correa again. Not getting the ball into the box. They're pinging it around at the minute. Atleti trying to find those options. Molina. Back it goes to Lenormand. Not been firing in any real crosses all night, Atleti. Here's Conor Gallagher. Wide to Molina again. Looking for options. Has to go back the way. Real Madrid sitting the deeper at the minute. They've 5 minutes to go. And at the minute, it's Real Madrid. They've kind of stepped off and thought, there's no need to risk trying to go for a third and concede an equaliser. They've just settled, and Molina there trying to break forward actually gives away a throw-in as he was tussling there with Brahim Diaz. That's fabulous tracking from the Real Madrid winger. And the man of the moment, who will be, as it stands, the man who scored the winning goal for Real Madrid at this moment in time. Well, before they meet in 8 days' time, Real Madrid have a home game against Rayo Vallecano on Sunday. Atleti head to Getafe this weekend, also on Sunday afternoon, before they meet at the Metropolitano in 8 days' time for the second leg, and looking for a place in the quarter-finals. Real Madrid facing a European chasing Rayo Vallecano this season. Atleti head to a Getafe side that are just trying to keep themselves ticking over above the relegation zone. Good 6 points clear at the moment of the relegation zone, but just want to keep themselves ticking over. So not the simplest of games for either team at the weekends. Well, of course, the main focus will be the Champions League, although can they really afford to chop and change very much with the tightness of the title race in Spain? Of course, Barcelona in action tomorrow night in Lisbon. And they head to Benfica. Barcelona will also have to keep an eye on their weekend game. They have Osasuna at home. The Liga title race hotting up. These two teams we're watching tonight certainly in the mix of it. It's Brahim Diaz there once again showing his gamesmanship, showing his real game intelligence to win another free kick. And it's all about those management moments in a game that just are the difference. You know, to have that intelligence to win a free kick in that position, to take the threat, to take the power away from Atleti and just settle the game even more and just try and manage this game to the end. I have to say, if Arsenal had a struggle, if Arsenal had a problem scoring goals before tonight, my goodness me, what did they eat before they come on the field tonight? Because Mikel Arteta's side have absolutely trounced PSV Eindhoven on their own patch in the Netherlands. It is 7-1 to Arsenal. Ricardo Calafiori has scored the 7th. I mean, what has happened to PSV Eindhoven? They have talk about collapse. I mean, it was demolition job in Eindhoven tonight for Arsenal. 7-1. My goodness. I mean, I said it maybe at 4 or 5-1. I think we've got Arsenal in the quarterfinals to come. But 7-1 is just embarrassing. And they've another leg of the game to go. They've another 90 minutes to play next week. 7-1 for Arsenal. Free kick there to Real Madrid. Last minute of the 90. And Julian Alvarez there. Bit too eager to win the ball. And ends up dragging the Real Madrid substitute Endrick to the ground. Endrick, who's just on the field. Literally in the last 3 seconds. And he's already in the wars. Already tussling and battling. Referee. I mean, it didn't take much to spot it. Julian Alvarez just dragging Endrick to the ground. I mean, absolutely trailing him to the floor. Free kick here. Luka Modric is not going to whip this one in. They're going to go short. Wide to the right side. Rodrigo picking up with Endrick. Ball into the box. Endrick is flicked it on. Away by Jimenez. All the way back to Ferland Mendy. Who calmly finds Vasquez. He charges infield here, Lucas Vasquez. But he run into trouble. And the ball was well away. Goal kick. 3 added minutes then. At the end of this game this evening. 3 more minutes. At the moment, it looks like Real Madrid will be taking a lead to the Metropolitano next week. Or they might have an even further lead here. Here's Kylian Mbappe, squares it across. Vinicius Jr. couldn't get the touch. Mbappe will get another chance. The ball didn't go to play there. Cuts back, Modric. Straight at Jan Oblak. 2 really good chances there for Real Madrid to try and find a third. Lovely little ball in behind. Poor giveaway by Atleti in the middle, in midfield. And Mbappe makes a lovely run down the right hand side. He breaks into the box, cuts it back just a little behind Vinicius Jr. And then he gets another chance. The ball doesn't go to play. Mbappe keeps it alive, and then the cut back to Luka Modric, who has the shot straight in the end at Jan Oblak. That was a big chance for Real Madrid to give themselves a better lead to take to the Wanda Metropolitano next week. As goal kick there. Atleti thought they won a corner off Lucas Vasquez, but the referee and the officials not seeing it that way. Alvarez a bit frustrated. We'll see it again and get a definitive answer for you. Yeah, it's definitely a goal kick. No doubt about that. Chance in his arm there. Julian Alvarez. But I gotta say, in this second half, I've been a little bit disappointed with Atletico Madrid, to be honest. You know, at half-time I thought, 1-1, Atleti well in the game, well in with maybe taking a lead back to the Metropolitano, but their second half performance it's been a little bit laboured since they conceded that second, and that was early in the second half. That was like 10 minutes into the second half. And since they conceded that second goal, they were really flat in this game. And maybe they've had one or two half chances, but nothing anywhere near the like of threatening Real Madrid to the level they did in the first half. And, you know, I said that little 10-minute spell at the start of the second half was crucial in trying to find a second goal to put the pressure on Madrid, but they didn't. And Real Madrid took the lead again, and Atletico have barely been in the game since. They've barely threatened at all. That's an awful wayward ball given away, and now Vinicius Jr. has a charge here on the defence. They might still get one more chance. That's a very important block by Jose Maria Jimenez. But they will have time to take this corner. 3 minutes are up, but the corner's going to come. And they're going to have a chance to try and find a third here. Again, awful crossfield ball. I mean, it's absolutely nowhere from Atleti. They've completely dead in this game. And Vinicius Jr. bricking in behind. Good challenge by Jimenez. And Modric's corner cleared away at the front post. And it's just going to be a free kick there to Atleti. Foul in the box. Yeah, it's good covering by Jimenez. And the free kick for Atleti ends up and ends the game. And after 94 minutes or so, it is Real Madrid that will take a lead to the Metropolitano next week. The reigning European champions once again overcome a little bit of a tough task in the first half, and in the end really made easy work of it in the second. Once they took that second goal through Brahim Diaz, really at that point the game was over. Atleti went into their shell and didn't come back out again. They will have another chance to try and knock out their Madrid rivals in 8 days' time at the Metropolitano, but tonight they might have had a glimpse at trying to do something, but they really shied away from it in that second half. Rodrigo with a quality goal to open the scoring. Julian Alvarez with probably the goal of the evening to level the game in the first half, but Brahim Diaz with a little bit of individual brilliance wins the game for Real Madrid. It is finished at the Santiago Bernabeu. It is Real Madrid 2, Atletico Madrid 1. And there is the final score, and those are the final scores in 3 of the 4 fixtures we've seen tonight, because it's still going between Borussia Dortmund and Lille. It's 1-1 there, waiting on the final whistle, but no doubting that Arsenal have a massive lead to take to the Emirates next week. 7-1 winners away in Eindhoven. Fabulous from Arsenal. What a way to respond to your recent critics in recent weeks and all those injuries. At the moment, they have had no trouble scoring against PSV tonight. 7 goals in Eindhoven. So good night for the English sides combined. 10 goals between two teams. Villa scoring 3 in Bruges and 7 for Arsenal in Eindhoven. And tonight, in the end, Real Madrid get it done in the second half. Brahim Diaz with the goal to seal the victory for Madrid. And they will have a tough second leg in the Wanda Metropolitano. But at the moment, they have the advantage to take the reigning European champions. It has now finished in Dortmund. The tightest game of the round so far sees Borussia Dortmund and Lille locked at 1-1 after the first leg in Dortmund. The opening goal from Karim Adeyemi gave Dortmund the lead, but a second half goal from Hakan Almar Haraldsson got Lille back on terms. So a couple of tight affairs to go into next week. This one, the Madrid Derby, certainly one to keep your eye on for next week's fixtures. Right, that's it from us tonight. We're back tomorrow night for more round of 16 action. 4 more ties, 8 more teams looking to give themselves a first leg advantage in the Champions League. Our feature game is in Paris as PSG, the leaders of Liga, take on the Premier League leaders Liverpool tomorrow, 8 o'clock. In the Champions League. Two sides at this moment in time in good form and going well about it. We'll see how they perform tomorrow night 8 o'clock. Amongst Feyenoord, Inter, Benfica, Barcelona and Munich Leverkusen. No shortage of great ties in the round of 16. But for tonight, it is Real and the Madridistas who will be celebrating again. Atleti fell into their shell and didn't come back out again. Real Madrid have the lead going into the Wanda next week. Night night.